Welcome back to the show that lifts the lid off life inside Wales's third largest city. This is Inside Newport. First off, we look at the latest news and trends in the city.
Well, as the saying goes, you're waiting out for a bus, and 3 come up at once. Well, it's fair to say that Newport commuters are frustrated with the Newport bus company. If you rely on this service to get to work, and you're frequently late, then you'll know this is a major problem. This issue has seen quite a lot of local media attention, and Newport Bus have issued their statement.
The company blames roadworks around the city and says it has to prioritise children arriving at school on time.
Certain routes are affected more than others, and it seems to be centred around peak times. When a lot of their buses are allocated to schools, a lot of people think that the company is understaffed. A lot of commuters are complaining about the revised timetable, which sees a lot of buses' routes finish at 6:30 on the weekends. Adds up to a public transport system that is severely under-delivering. Okay, so we're here with Karen, a local commuter. Karen, what's the problem?
They're never on time, they never turn up, and sometimes they're quite rude because you go in to see about it and they just say, well, we only drive the buses. But the 42 and the 43 are so irregular. Now I'm registered disabled, so I need the bus.
Well, it's affecting me because I'm just fed up of hanging around waiting for buses not turning up. The excuse is that they blame it on the traffic when it's nothing to do with the traffic in the sense. What's happening is I believe they're taking the buses off to cover for the school contracts.
An online petition was started by local commuter Claire Gray after documenting a week of lateness with a local newspaper.
So what do you think Newport Bus could do to stop this situation?
Well, treat the drivers a bit better. The management treat the drivers better so they haven't got to leave, so we'll have more buses.
I feel sorry for the people who need to go to work because they then have to get taxis to get into work, which is more of an expense to the travellers. And also they're paying their monthly bus fare on their bus passes and they're not getting anything back from the company.
The controversial project to build a dedicated traveller site in the east of the city has saw the planned cost rise to a further £400,000, making it a total of £3 million. We asked the people of Newport, what do they think of this idea?
The assessment for the site was carried out in 2015 and identified 25 families wishing to live in Newport permanently.
So we're here with Matthew, who is a Conservative leader for Newport. Matthew, what situation are we in right now?
Well, if we're talking about the Gypsy Traveller site, we're in a real mess. At the moment, we're talking about almost £500,000 overspend on a project which has been going on for years. I can appreciate it's not an easy issue, but like anything in local councils, money is tight, and clearly there are big concerns, not only with the overspend, but the way the whole issue has been handled.
The assessment was required by law under the Housing of Wales Act 2014.
What do you think about the situation?
I think it'd be a good idea actually, because it would stop the aggro where they turn up at various places uninvited. So if they have a permanent site and it's looked after and cared for and it's got the right amenities, yeah, brilliant idea.
Like I said, people's got to live, but it don't look very nice there because they just dump their rubbish and go.
So with the money that is used for this gypsy camp, do you think it could be used elsewhere?
Yeah, you could do Newport Town up properly.
So you think they should use the money to do a Newport Town a bit more, do you think?
Yeah, I do.
People say, well, Welsh Government are sponsoring half the money. Well, actually, it's still taxpayers' money. You start with a business, you start with a budget, and you ensure you keep to that budget.
I'm here in Tredegar Park, a much-loved area for families and communities alike to bring their children to have fun and play in the sun. But sadly, due to cutbacks, the splash pad in Newport at Tredegar has been closed since 2014. We now go to speak to people involved in bringing the splash pad back to the public.
Alongside Conservative Party members, local resident Louise Smith started a petition calling for facilities to be reopened.
Well, it was just decided that Tredegar Park's a bit of a dire state at the moment, so they weren't opening the toilets. It's an eyesore, it's been left for years, just festering. Basically, it was putting humans on par with animals, giving us the same dignity, you know. They weren't opening up toilets for us to use. Council stated it wasn't their duty, okay, which I completely disagree with, you know.
And there used to be dozens of families here with picnics and sandwiches and crisps, and you used to come down here and spend a whole day here with the kids, particularly the summer of 2013, you know, some very special memories for me. It was a very hot summer that year, and that was the last summer that it was open, and when they closed it, you know, I was really angry. The kids were really upset, and I felt that I had to do something.
The £120,000 splash pad was closed in 2014 after budget cuts.
And this will not only benefit, you know, average families. I mean, you know, you're talking kids with disabilities, with ADHD, Asperger's or autism. You know, they have sort of sensory experiences with water that they can experience from this splash park.
A walk in the park with a loved one or even by yourself can be a very rewarding experience. If the park's Bellevue Park, the experience benefits from the tea rooms run by a social enterprise in partnership with the council. But it seems this partnership has come to an end, after the tea rooms terminating this partnership, citing the council as heading in a different direction. This comes a few weeks after the council installed pay and display parking in the car park.
The Popular Tea Rooms is a not-for-profit social enterprise which employs multiple local residents. The company issued a statement on their website thanking the parks and garden staff but citing a difference in direction between them and the council.
After the local media reported on the story, the council received a lot of criticism and released a statement addressing this matter.
The council issued a statement on their website rejecting the criticism, saying the tea rooms failed safety inspections.
Projects like that continue, the council gets their full support behind these type of projects. And this park is beautiful. It's a public area, and you know, it should have facilities here for us.
The cafe is the hub of the park, without a doubt. You know, we come down, we have a walk around the park, and we always end it with going in the cafe and a drink and a cake, and it's a nice social event to bring your family. About 4 or 5 couples, each one of them, saying how sorry and how upset they are that the cafe's actually closing, and we're just hoping and praying that the council reconsider and keep this lovely cafe that, you know, part of the park.
After 3 years of enhancing the park to its visitors, many people will be sad of its closure. The council confirmed numerous parties are in talks to replace the current organisation.
After our recent article, A Centre of Two Halves, we look at initiatives in the centre that hope to revitalise this area. Carlton James asks, what is the Business Improvement District?
Following on from last month's episode looking at the business in the centre, we found out that our centre is a centre of two halves. On one side you have a trendy new shopping centre with corporate chains, and on the other hand we have a rapidly declining shopping street struggling to find its place. One organisation's sole job is to revitalise the business in both areas via levy from the businesses. Join us as we ask, what is Newport Bid? Newport Bid was formed in 2015 after a successful ballot from businesses in the area. It funds and hosts events and initiatives in the centre.
A bid, or business improvement district, is an area, usually in the centre, which businesses fund via an additional tax or levy. Newport Bid say on their website that every penny raised is invested in creating a strong trading environment in Newport city centre.
Under the management of ex-Argus editor Kevin Ward, we find out more about Newport Bid.
So the Bid is the Business Improvement District for Newport. We are a private company. and our job is to represent the businesses, 450 of them nearly in the city centre, and to produce a series of events and other things that can help drive footfall into the city centre and do everything we can to improve what the city centre looks like.
Business improvement districts originate from North America. The idea is for businesses to pool their resources together to make the area more attractive as a retail, shopping and tourist destination.
So the bid is funded by its members, that's all the businesses, and any business that's got a rateable value of more than £5,000 a year pays a small levy, 1.2% of that, and that funds the bid. So our funding for a whole year is about £250,000.
With growing vacancy rates in Newport Centre, how can the bid bring businesses back to the centre? Is events enough to stimulate retail investment in this area?
So retail is struggling right across the UK, and that's not going to change. The internet has changed the way that we all shop and the way that we all go about our daily businesses. And I think what's important for not just for Newport but for any sort of traditional high street is that we need to look at a much wider mix across the high street. So it's not just about retail, although that's important, but we also need some high quality office accommodation, high quality hotels and a high quality living accommodation for people, because the more people you have living and working in a city centre, the more that they will buy and shop in the city centre.
We asked a sample of businesses in the bid zone what they think of Newport now and if they feel the investment yields rewards to their company.
I don't understand exactly what we're paying for. I spoke when I was paid for it with the council over the phone. I asked exactly what they're doing to improve the business district, which is what it's supposed to be for, and nobody could explain to me exactly what that payment was for.
We're paying £340 a year. Wasted money. It's all money goes back to the council. Council collect the money, and nobody come in spending on this end.
Events that are run, do they bring any revenue to the store?
Not this end at all. Not this end at all. Everything's at the other end, by the market, but they're not doing nothing on this end at all. And they still collect the same amount of money what they was collecting 4 years ago.
I pay every year like £80.
Do you find them beneficial?
Yes, it is beneficial because they working really hard to bring the city on the level, I'm really happy to pay this,
And all the hours, I don't think they'll be fair, because that's why the Newport town is so many shops empty and all that, because there are too much taxes, and I don't think so that'll be fair with the businesses.
Do you know how much levy you pay to Newport Bid?
I'm not sure exactly, but we have to pay every shop they have to pay, I think.
I don't think it brings extra revenue to my business at all. So why are we paying this bid levy for events that are probably taking place elsewhere that aren't going to bring revenue to our businesses anyway?
Whilst the idea of a business zone in a moderately busy city is a good thing, many traders we asked felt like it was additional tax that brought no improvements to them. But initiatives that stimulate business into the centre are vital in many experts' opinion.
Here's your story, let's begin. The water's fine, come on, dive in. The future's here, it's right before your eyes. Step by step, you're on your way. Welcome to a brighter day. Don't you know it feels good to be alive? You could be larger than life, bigger than the world, living out the hopes and dreams of every boy and every girl. You could fly higher than the sky, shine brighter than the stars. You could have all you ever wanted, shoot the moon and reach for Mars. You know you could. Yeah, and times are changing everywhere. Do we dream and do we dare? It's up to you, the door is open wide. Feel the rhythm of today, learn the part and join the play. The world is here, let's take it for a ride. You could be large could be larger than life, bigger than the world, living out the hopes and dreams of every boy and every girl. You could fly higher than the sky, shine brighter than the stars. You can...
Recently celebrating its 112th birthday, the Transporter Bridge, arguably the city's most iconic landmark, has embarked on a funding bid from the Heritage Lottery Fund to restore the bridge. Aaron Thomas finds out more.
1 in 5 working transporter bridges left in the world. The Newport Transporter Bridge has launched an appeal to collect funds to restore the bridge. They need to raise £100,000 to activate the next stage in funding, which is from the National Heritage Lottery Fund. The repair focuses on the east side approaching the bridge, replacing a number of oblique stiffening cables on the main boom, restoring the gondola to its 1906 design. Between 1893 and 1916, there were 18 bridges built worldwide. It took 4 years to build and cost £98,000 to build, which is the equivalent to £10 million today. It was replaced by Joy Street Bridge in 1963, which was the first cable-stay bridge in the UK.
With numerous ways to contribute to the appeal via novelty items sold at the visitor centre, along with all admission funds now also going towards the fund.
We put on an evening open event to celebrate really the Transporter Bridge's 112th birthday. It opened in 1906 this day in pouring rain as it happened, and it was opened by Lord Tredegar, and we've been functioning ever since. 1 or 2 breaks, but.
Well, it's just basically a fund. We're asking the public to get involved to raise funds for the bridge because we're going for lottery funding. We're duty bound, then we have to also get up to £100,000.
No, we're open throughout the season from April till the end of September, Wednesday through to Sunday, including all bank holidays, and we're open from 10 till 5 normally. Last year we put together what's called a Stage 1 Heritage Lottery bid. We're looking for a substantial package of funding to carry out some repair works to the bridge, but also to build a new visitor centre, which is really inadequate for the collections we've got. The total funding package that we're looking to get to is about £12.5 million. The larger part of that comes from Heritage Lottery. The City Council is making a contribution, but we've still got this gap, and so we're raising funding by any way possible to help bridge that gap.
The Transporter Bridge need to raise £100,000 to build on the successful first round of funding from the Heritage Lottery Fund, which awarded £1 million.
The gondola itself that we're stood on, basically the chassis of that needs refurbishment work, as does the traveller that takes the gondola back and forth. That needs extensive refurbishment work as well. So also we got the visitor centre that needs all upgrading and enlarging. The car park area again needs enlarging.
Rob, so if any of our viewers wanted to donate to the funding, where could they find you?
If they go online to the Just Giving website, they should be able to make donations on there.
Looking for entertainment in the city? Our What's On guide looks at the coolest entertainment venue in the city, the Neon.
A stone's throw away from Newport Bridge at Clarence Place is a Grade 2 listed building entertaining the city. Previously the Odeon Cinema, it's now called the Neon, and it's officially Newport's coolest entertainment hub.
We look at what's on offer and what's coming up here at the Neon.
Up and coming events at Newport's coolest entertainment hub. 5th of October, flash a tribute to Queen. 12th to the 13th of October sees the German beer drinking in Oktoberfest. 20th of October sees Raver Tots, where children and adults rave away to 90s classics. 21st of October sees Dragon Pro Wrestling grace the Neon. Don't miss this high-flying wrestling action. 26th of October hosts the amazing Black Magic Burlesque Exotic Dance Show. 27th of October sees the crazy Bingo Lingo game return for the biggest show of the year, celebrating Halloween. 31st of October, Climax Productions hosts the Halloween Shutdown, Newport's largest under-18s event. 3rd of November sees the Punk and New Wave Festival at the Neon, featuring the Rosillos and Sham 69 and more. The 9th of November sees the Four Seasons experience a tribute to Frankie Valli. 10th of November hosts the H46 Boxing Pro League, a fast and furious boxing event.